Stop looking around. Stop comparing, competing, or chasing after someone else's definition of success. The only person you need to outdo is who you were yesterday. The world is loud, it's full of distractions, opinions, and noise, but true success, true greatness, it's born in the quiet. It's forged when no one is watching. Today, I want to remind you, focus on yourself, drown out the noise, and let your work do all the talking. Your greatest competition in life is the person you were yesterday. We live in a world that constantly pushes us to compare ourselves to others, but that path only leads to frustration and doubt. The truth is, the journey to success is not a race against others. It's a marathon against your own limitations, insecurities, and fears. Each day is an opportunity to grow, to improve, to get closer to the person you aspire to be. The real battle lies within you, and the moment you realize this, you reclaim your power. Too often, we waste time scrolling through social media, watching the highlight reels of other people's lives, and wondering why we're not where they are. We measure ourselves against their achievements, their wealth, their success, and even their happiness. But here's the thing, what you see is just a snapshot, a curated moment designed to look perfect. You don't see the struggles, the failures, or the sacrifices that brought them there. And even if you did, their journey is not your journey. Your focus needs to shift from what are they doing to what can I do better today than I did yesterday. When you focus on yourself, you take control of your narrative. You stop letting external factors dictate your self-worth and start evaluating yourself based on your own progress. Maybe yesterday you doubted your abilities, but today you took a step forward, no matter how small. That's winning. Maybe last week you hesitated to take on a challenge, but today you faced it head on. That's growth. Success is not about leaping from point A to point B in a single bound. It's about showing up every single day, chipping away at your fears and weaknesses, and building a stronger version of yourself. Growth is not always visible. Sometimes you won't feel like you're making progress, and that's okay. Imagine planting a seed. You water it, give it sunlight, and care for it every day. At first, nothing happens, it's just soil. But beneath the surface, that seed is breaking open, roots are forming, and the foundation for something beautiful is being laid. Your personal growth works the same way. You might not see the results immediately, but every effort, every disciplined action is strengthening your foundation. One day, when you least expect it, you'll bloom. Focusing on yourself also means understanding and embracing your unique path. No two people are the same, and neither are their journeys. You have your own talents, your own dreams, and your own timing. Just because someone else seems to be ahead doesn't mean you're behind. It's not about who gets there first. It's about getting there prepared, fulfilled, and proud of the work you've done. Remember, slow progress is still progress, and every step you take toward your goals is a victory worth celebrating. Another key part of focusing on yourself is silencing the inner critic that constantly tells you you're not good enough, or you'll never make it. That voice is not the truth, it's fear trying to hold you back. The way to silence it is to prove it wrong. Each time you push through doubt, each time you show up when you don't feel like it, you weaken that voice and strengthen your belief in yourself. Confidence isn't built overnight, it's built through consistent action and the courage to keep going, even when it's hard. When you make yourself the priority, you also learn the value of self-care. Taking care of your mental, physical, and emotional well-being is not selfish, it's essential. You can't give your best to the world if you're running on empty. Rest when you need to, recharge when you must, and then get back to work. Balance is key to sustained growth, and when you find it, you become unstoppable. Ultimately, focusing on yourself is not about being selfish or ignoring the world around you. It's about aligning with your purpose. It's about realizing that you have everything you need within you to succeed, but only if you're willing to nurture it. The only person who can hold you back is you, and the only person who can propel you forward is you. Every day is a new chance to rise above yesterday, to become stronger, wiser, and better. So stop looking around. Look within, because the only competition that truly matters is the one you have with yourself. Discipline is the bridge between dreams and reality. In a world where distractions are everywhere, your phone buzzing with notifications, endless streams of entertainment, and a constant influx of opinions, it takes unwavering focus to stay committed to your goals. The truth is, distractions are always going to exist. You can't eliminate them entirely, but you can learn to master your mind and prioritize what truly matters. Discipline is not about being perfect. It's about choosing what's important over what's easy day after day. Every time you give in to distraction, you trade a piece of your future for temporary gratification. You tell yourself it's just one episode or I'll start tomorrow. But the truth is, tomorrow rarely comes when excuses are your default. Success doesn't wait for you to be in the mood. It doesn't care if you're tired, uninspired, or unmotivated. The people who achieve greatness aren't necessarily the smartest or the most talented. They're the ones who showed up consistently, even when it wasn't convenient. Think about this: every hour you spend mindlessly scrolling, watching, or procrastinating is an hour you could have invested in your dreams. Imagine if, instead of letting distractions control you, you controlled them. What could you achieve if you committed to using that time to learn, to create, or to grow? The difference between those who succeed and those who don't often comes down to how they spend their time. It's not about having more hours in the day. It's about making the hours you do have count. Discipline is a muscle, and like any muscle, it gets stronger the more you use it. The first step is acknowledging the distractions in your life. Be honest with yourself. What pulls your attention away from what truly matters? Is it social media? Netflix? Negative influences? Once you identify these distractions, you can start creating boundaries. This might mean setting time limits for certain activities, turning off notifications, or creating a dedicated space for focused work. It's not easy, but every step you take to reduce distractions brings you closer to your goals. It's also important to remember that discipline isn't about being hard on yourself. It's about loving yourself enough to push for the life you deserve. Every time you say no to a distraction, you're saying yes to your future. You're telling yourself that your dreams, your goals, and your purpose are worth more than momentary pleasure. It's not about deprivation, it's about prioritization. One of the biggest myths about discipline is that it requires constant motivation. Motivation is fleeting, it comes and goes like the wind. Discipline, on the other hand, is a choice. It's waking up every morning and deciding that no matter how you feel, you're going to put in the work. It's understanding that progress isn't always glamorous or exciting. Sometimes it's tedious and repetitive. But those seemingly small, mundane actions add up over time. They create momentum, and that momentum propels you towards success. There will be days when the distractions feel overwhelming, when the pull of the easy path feels almost irresistible. On those days, remind yourself why you started. Remind yourself of the vision you have for your life and the person you want to become. Write it down if you have to. Keep it where you can see it. Let it serve as a constant reminder that what you're working toward is worth more than any temporary distraction. Discipline also requires patience. In a world of instant gratification, it's easy to feel frustrated when results don't come quickly. But success is not an overnight phenomenon. It's the result of countless hours of focused effort, often with no immediate payoff. Trust the process. Trust that every step, no matter how small, is moving you closer to your goals. Finally, surround yourself with people who respect and encourage your focus. The company you keep plays a huge role in your ability to stay disciplined. Seek out those who inspire you, challenge you, and hold you accountable. Limit your exposure to those who drain your energy or distract you from your purpose. You don't need a crowd, you just need the right people. Discipline is the foundation of success. It's not about being perfect, it's about being consistent. It's about making choices every day that align with your goals and values, even when it's hard. The distractions will always be there, but so will the opportunity to rise above them. It's up to you to decide what matters more. The beauty of success is that it doesn't need an introduction. It doesn't require an announcement or a proclamation to the world. True success speaks for itself, in the results, in the impact, and in the legacy it leaves behind. When you work hard in silence, you're building something real, something unshakable, and something that cannot be ignored. The loudest voices in the room are often the ones trying to mask insecurity, but the quiet worker, the one grinding behind the scenes, is the one destined to shine when the time is right. In a culture obsessed with instant recognition, it's tempting to broadcast every move you make. Social media has given us platforms to showcase our efforts, to seek validation, and to gain attention for even the smallest achievements. But here's the truth: validation from others is fleeting, and attention for the sake of attention won't carry you far. Real fulfillment comes from knowing that you've put in the work, even when no one is clapping for you, even when no one is watching. When you work in silence, you remove the pressure to perform for others. You allow yourself the space to grow, to make mistakes, and to refine your craft without the weight of external judgment. It's not about hiding your efforts, it's about protecting them from unnecessary noise and interference. Every time you announce your plans prematurely, you open the door for doubt, criticism, and distractions. But when you keep your head down and stay focused, you create a shield around your vision, allowing it to develop fully before it's exposed to the world. Letting your results speak is also about humility. Success is not about showing off, it's about showing up. It's about doing the work because it matters to you, not because you want applause. The most accomplished people in the world didn't get there by shouting about their potential. They got there by quietly putting in the hours day after day until their achievements were undeniable. The world didn't need to be told they were great, it simply couldn't ignore the impact they made. There's also power in surprising people. When you work in silence, you're creating a quiet storm, building momentum that no one sees coming. And when the results finally appear, they speak louder than words ever could. Think of it like planting seeds. You don't need to stand in the field shouting about the harvest you're going to have. You just need to tend to the soil, water the plants, and trust the process. When the time comes, the harvest will be obvious to everyone. Working in silence doesn't mean isolating yourself or keeping your goals a secret from those who support you. It means focusing more on action than on talk. It means redirecting the energy you'd spend seeking approval or recognition into actual work that moves you closer to your goals. It's easy to talk about what you're going to do. It's much harder and far more rewarding to actually do it. This approach also builds resilience. When you let your results speak, you're no longer dependent on the opinions or approval of others. You develop a quiet confidence that comes from knowing you've earned your success. This kind of confidence isn't fragile. It doesn't crumble under criticism or fade when the applause stops. It's rooted in the effort you've put in and the progress you've made. There's a saying, lions don't need to roar. A lion's presence is felt simply by being who it is. In the same way, your success will speak for itself when the time comes. You don't need to broadcast your efforts to prove your worth. Focus on the work, trust the process, and let the results roar for you. Lastly, working in silence sets a powerful example. It shows others that success is not about shortcuts or seeking constant attention. It's about commitment, perseverance, and patience. When you achieve something extraordinary through quiet, consistent effort, you inspire others to do the same. You show them that it's not about being the loudest or the flashiest, it's about being the most dedicated. So, stay humble, stay focused, and keep building. The world will notice when the time is right. And when it does, you won't need to say a word, your results will do all the talking for you. Patience and persistence are the twin pillars of any meaningful success. In a world that thrives on immediacy, where we're accustomed to quick fixes and instant gratification, the value of patience often gets lost. But true success, the kind that lasts, requires time, effort, and resilience. It demands that you show up day after day, putting in the work, even when the results seem distant or invisible. The greatest achievements in life aren't built overnight, they're the result of steady, persistent effort over time. Think of any significant accomplishment, whether it's building a business, mastering a skill, or achieving personal growth. Behind every moment of triumph is a long road of challenges, setbacks, and unseen effort. The process is often slow and at times frustrating. There will be days when it feels like nothing is happening, when progress seems stagnant, and when the temptation to quit looms large. But it's in those moments that patience becomes your greatest ally. Success isn't about sprinting to the finish line, it's about enduring the marathon step by step. Persistence is what keeps you moving forward, even when the path is unclear. It's the determination to push through obstacles, to keep going despite the doubts and fears that creep in. It's not about never failing, it's about refusing to let failure define you. Each setback is an opportunity to learn, to grow, and to come back stronger. The people who achieve greatness are not the ones who never fell, they're the ones who kept getting back up over and over again. Patience teaches you to trust the process. Imagine planting a tree. You water it, care for it, and give it sunlight, but the growth is slow. You might not see anything happening for weeks or months, but beneath the surface, the roots are spreading, creating a strong foundation. One day, the tree begins to grow, and eventually it flourishes. The same is true for your goals and dreams. Every small action you take, every step forward, is like watering that tree. Even when you don't see immediate results, trust that you're building a foundation for future success. It's important to remember that progress is not always linear. There will be times when you take 2 steps forward and 1 step back. That's okay, it's all part of the journey. Growth doesn't happen in a straight line, it comes in waves, with highs and lows, victories and setbacks. What matters most is that you keep going, that you stay committed to the process, even when it feels like you're not making progress. Because often the greatest breakthroughs come just after the point when most people would have given up. Patience and persistence also require a mindset shift. Instead of focusing solely on the end result, learn to embrace the journey. Find joy in the process of working toward your goals. Celebrate the small wins, the milestones along the way, and the lessons you learn from each challenge. When you focus only on the destination, you risk missing out on the growth and fulfillment that come from the journey itself. Another key aspect of patience and persistence is staying adaptable. The path to success is rarely a straight line, it's filled with twists, turns, and unexpected detours. Sometimes you'll need to adjust your approach, try a new strategy, or take a step back to reassess. Being persistent doesn't mean stubbornly sticking to one method, it means staying committed to your goal while being flexible in how you achieve it. Patience also helps you develop resilience, the ability to endure challenges and bounce back from setbacks. Life will test you, and there will be moments when the odds seem stacked against you. But if you can hold on, if you can keep moving forward, even when it feels like the world is pushing you back, you'll find that those challenges are shaping you into someone stronger and more capable than you ever thought possible. Ultimately, patience and persistence are about playing the long game. It's about understanding that the things worth having take time and effort to build. The shortcuts might seem tempting, but they rarely lead to lasting success. True achievement comes from the grind, from showing up every day and doing the work, even when it's hard, even when it's boring, even when no one else believes in you. Remember, every great journey starts with a single step, and every step forward, no matter how small, brings you closer to your destination. So stay patient, stay persistent, and trust that your hard work will pay off. The road might be long, but the destination will be worth it. Keep going, you're closer than you think. Legacy is not built on applause or fleeting moments of fame. It is built on the actions you take every day, the impact you make, and the values you live by. Focusing on yourself allows you to create a legacy that is rooted in authenticity, purpose, and lasting significance. When you stop chasing external validation and start aligning your actions with your deepest values, you begin to craft a life that speaks for itself, a life that inspires others long after you're gone. Too often, people measure their worth by the recognition they receive from others. They equate their success with the number of likes, followers, or accolades they earn. But those things are temporary, they fade with time. A true legacy isn't built on external recognition, it's built on the internal commitment to becoming the best version of yourself and contributing something meaningful to the world. It's not about being remembered for how loud you were. It's about being remembered for how much you gave, how deeply you cared, and how authentically you lived. When you focus on yourself, you invest in your growth, your skills, and your character. These are the building blocks of a legacy that endures. You can't control how others perceive you, but you can control the effort you put into becoming someone you're proud of. It's about showing up consistently, doing the right thing, even when it's hard, and staying true to your values, even when no one is watching. Your legacy begins in the small, everyday actions that define who you are. Building a meaningful legacy requires a clear sense of purpose. What do you want to stand for? What impact do you want to have on the world? These are questions that only you can answer, and they require deep introspection. Your purpose doesn't have to be grand or world-changing, it just has to be authentic. Maybe it's about being a role model for your children, creating something that helps others, or simply living a life that reflects kindness and integrity. Whatever it is, focusing on yourself allows you to align your actions with that purpose, ensuring that every step you take moves you closer to the legacy you want to leave. The journey of creating a legacy is not without challenges. There will be times when you doubt yourself, when progress feels slow, and when the temptation to seek shortcuts arises. But shortcuts don't lead to lasting impact, they lead to fleeting moments that are easily forgotten. A true legacy is built on the foundation of hard work, perseverance, and a commitment to long-term growth. It's about planting seeds that may not fully bloom in your lifetime, but will continue to grow and inspire others for years to come. Focusing on yourself also means letting go of the need to compare your journey to others. Your legacy is yours to create, and it will look different from anyone else's. Some people's impact is loud and visible, others work quietly behind the scenes, making a difference in ways that aren't immediately recognized. Both are valuable and neither is more important than the other. What matters is that your actions come from a place of authenticity and purpose. Another key aspect of legacy is the relationships you build along the way. While focusing on yourself may sound solitary, it's actually about becoming the kind of person who uplifts and inspires others. When you invest in your growth, you're better equipped to help those around you. Your legacy is often reflected in the lives you touch, the encouragement you give, the wisdom you share, and the kindness you show. These are the things that people remember long after you're gone. Focusing on yourself also requires patience. Building a legacy is not about quick wins or immediate results, it's about the cumulative effect of your actions over time. The impact you make today may not be visible tomorrow, but it will ripple outward in ways you can't always see. Trust that every effort you make, no matter how small, contributes to something larger than yourself. Finally, remember that your legacy is not just about what you leave behind, it's about how you live right now. It's about being present, giving your best, and staying true to who you are. Each day is an opportunity to write another chapter in your story, to take one more step toward becoming the person you aspire to be. So focus on yourself, not out of selfishness, but out of a desire to create something meaningful and lasting. Build a legacy that doesn't need validation, one that speaks through your actions, your character, and the impact you make. When you focus on yourself, you create a foundation for a life that matters not just to you, but to everyone you touch. And that, more than anything, is the legacy worth striving for.